You know, when people ask you that question of what superhero power would you have if you could have one, and every time someone asks that question, I'm always thinking, you know, couldn't you just technically have telekinesis and just have all the superpowers? You know, you could fly, you can levitate yourself, you could pick up anything you wanted, so you already have super strength. Like, isn't that answer like a loophole? These are just things that go on in my head. It's weird. But with that being said, let's keep talking about superhero stuff. So Shazam is a movie about a kid who acquires these powers of a superhero and turns into an adult when he becomes a superhero and stays as a kid when he's not a superhero. And that's pretty much all you need to know for this movie. And the premise of the film sounds pretty interesting because you're like, how would a kid handle being a superhero like Superman and Batman? How would he deal with that? And just by the trailers, it did look kind of promising, although sometimes it did look kind of like it could bomb. Some of the jokes in the trailers for this movie really didn't land for me. So I was wondering, I was like, this movie could either really bomb or could be really good. Luckily, this movie falls on the really good side. This movie was a genuine surprise for me. I adore this movie. I feel like this movie delivered on every single thing it promised. And I think that all starts with casting Zachary Levi as Shazam and the kid actor for Billy Batson. I actually enjoyed both of them in the movie. I like seeing Billy Batson as a kid, and I also like seeing him as Shazam as an adult. And the way they were able to find a balance was really nice in this movie. I actually really dug it because there wasn't one taking away from the other. They both were balancing each other out because they are the same person in the movie. So it was really nice to see how they were able to balance that out. But the main thing that got me in this movie was that it actually had more heart than I thought. I thought it was going to be just all jokes and giggles, but it actually had a bit of heart in it, and I was genuinely surprised. But hey, don't get me wrong, a lot of the jokes do land in this movie, and they're actually really funny. The main way they were able to add heart in this movie was by adding a foster family to the mix, because Billy Batson, Shazam, he's in a foster family. But this foster family allows you to get closer to Billy's character and give the film more heart, and I thought it was just a nice addition to the whole film itself. And I also like Billy's main brother in the foster family. He was actually a really funny character. Every time I saw this kid on screen, he just made me laugh every single time. I don't know if it's just because I relate with the character, because he's a super nerd, he's just obsessed with Superman and Batman. And I guess I just saw a little bit of my younger self in that kid. I don't really know, but I think he added a lot to the film's humor and charm. And one of the major parts where this movie shines to me is seeing Billy Batson as Shazam just doing things as a superhero to test out his powers, because you forget he is a kid. When you're a kid, this is your dream, man. You get to do whatever you want. You get to punch through walls, fly. You get to do all sorts of things. It's your freedom. This is, as a kid, that's freedom to you, being a superhero. So it was really cool just to see him just have fun and do stuff as a superhero. Now the villain in this movie, he is pretty decent, I would say. They actually did a really good job with his backstory, I thought. But in terms of his character and how he was in the film, I would say he's alright, maybe. He's not bad, he's just not great either to me. But it really didn't take away much from the film, so I can't really fault it too hard. But he could have been better, but he also could have been a lot worse. And if there's one thing I can criticize the film on, is that there's a scene, if you've seen this movie, you know what I'm talking about. There's a scene where I'm just watching it, I'm like, okay, that was way too random, and that was way too easy. There's no way he should be able to do that. There's no way. There's no way that it just happened to him out of nowhere. And they didn't really give an explanation for it, so I feel like that's one thing I can criticize it on, is that was the only thing that really kind of bothered me. But other than that, the film, I just loved it to death. There's also like another scene, I don't know if anybody noticed this, but there's a scene that just straight up reminded me of like something out of The Witcher 3. I don't know why, it just, the voices and the statues, and if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It just straight up reminded me of The Witcher 3. If you play that game and you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it was actually kind of cool. I actually really liked it. It just reminded me of The Witcher 3 for some reason. I don't know why. But all in all, man, I really enjoyed this film. I had a great time. And honestly, to me, I think this is the best DCEU movie I've seen to date, honestly. I liked it better than Aquaman. I liked it better than Wonder Woman. So yeah, I really dug this movie. I'm gonna give Shazam an 8 out of 10.
What kind of bloody superhero name is Shazam?
So yeah, guys, I was genuinely surprised by how good this movie was and how much heart it had and what they were able to do with the character and balance them out with the young self and the old self. And I really hope DC can keep doing this with these characters and just make independent independent films for each one of them and just give them their own good movie like this. I really want this for each character in the DC universe because I want to see them flourish. You know, I love Marvel. Trust me, I love Marvel. I want to see DC flourish too. I want to see good films out of this. There's good material here. And I feel like they just did just that with Shazam. So yeah, guys, that was my thoughts on Shazam. Let me know down in the comments what you thought about Shazam. I really want to know. And if you want to leave a like on this video, if you liked it, then you can do that also if you want to. With that being said, I'm Chase Lee, and if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like this, then you can click right here after I disappear.